The moon hung low in the ink-black sky, casting an eerie pallor over the desolate highway. Sarah's car sputtered to a halt, the engine's final gasp echoing through the night. She cursed under her breath, her heart pounding with a mixture of frustration and fear. The stretch of road seemed to go on forever, flanked by endless fields of tall grass that whispered secrets to the wind. The nearest town was miles away, its distant lights barely visible on the horizon. Sarah knew she had no choice but to walk. Clutching her phone and a small flashlight, she set out along the deserted highway. The air grew colder, and the silence pressed in on her, broken only by the distant cry of a lone owl. Her steps echoed in the emptiness, each one a reminder of her isolation. After what felt like an eternity, a distant glow signaled the approach of a gas station. Relief washed over her, but it was short-lived. As she got closer, she realized the station was abandoned, its pumps overgrown with weeds and its windows shattered. A chill ran down Sarah's spine, but she couldn't afford to give in to fear. She continued past the station, her flashlight's beam cutting through the darkness. Suddenly a noise echoed through the night, like footsteps on gravel. She froze, the beam of her flashlight trembling. "Hello?" she called, her voice wavering. There was no response, only the distant hum of the wind. She pressed on, the footsteps growing fainter but never entirely fading. Panic set in, and she quickened her pace, her heart racing. As she rounded a bend in the road, a figure emerged from the shadows. It was a man, his face obscured by shadows, his form indistinct in the darkness. He stood perfectly still, watching her with an intensity that sent shivers down her spine. Sarah's breath caught in her throat. "Can you help me? My car ran out of gas, and I'm stranded." The figure remained silent, unmoving. It felt as though the night itself held its breath, waiting. With a surge of adrenaline, Sarah turned and ran, her footsteps pounding on the pavement. She didn't dare look back, but she could feel the presence behind her, the footsteps growing closer. She pushed herself harder, her lungs burning with each breath. Just as her legs threatened to give out, she saw the distant lights of a house up ahead. With a final burst of energy, she reached the front door and pounded on it, desperate for refuge. The door swung open, revealing a kind-faced elderly woman. Without a word, Sarah stumbled inside, tears streaming down her face. The woman comforted her, offering warmth and safety. As the night wore on, Sarah recounted her harrowing encounter on the desolate highway. The woman listened, with a knowing look in her eyes. "You're not the first to experience such things on this road," she said softly. "There are places in this world where the boundary between our reality and something else is thin. You were fortunate to make it here." Sarah never forgot that night, or the desolate highway that seemed to exist on the edge of something unknown. It was a chilling reminder that in the darkest corners of the world, there are things that defy explanation, waiting to test the limits of human courage.